Hello developers, today we are going to see this contact application using MVVM approach. This is basically a simple app. I'm going to explain MVVM approach clearly. So let's continue this tutorial. For this I'm already created an empty project in Jetpack Compose and named as a contact app. So for the time sake I already imported this image, two images, right? So you can also download it from here by export option and download it from here and add it on the drawable folder. So let's start the implementation. I remove the default things, and for MVVM approach I'm going to create a package called view. In view only I'm going to create the UI parts, right? So for UI part I'm going to create home screen. So this is a file, so composable function home screen. So I'm just going to add a preview for a live preview of the edit. So this home screen contains one top bar, right? So top bar and some floating action button. So because of this I'm going to use scaffold. Scaffold has few parameters like first default parameter modifier, top bar. You can import this option enter or alt enter, floating action button, on click, padding. We are going to add an icon here. So icon, which icon is present? This is a plus icon, right? Plus icon with some blue color. Just copy this color. Icons not filled. Just import this icon. Add content description is the second parameter of any image. Just give it as a null. Modifier and tint. I'm just giving the color of this Xcode. Here I am just adding F for 100% of the color, so it takes here, right? And you can see there is a shadow is there. Shadow is there, right? So for that I am going to add modifier and something like elevation. Now it looks fine. And I make this scaffold to fill max size of the page. Hope it looks better. And now we missed something, right? This thing had to be here, and here the color is white. Now it looks perfect. I'm going to add a color in here, something like val bg gray, color of F9, F8, FB, BG gray. So top bar contains few items, right? So I'm just going to use a row which contains one text field, two icon fields. So text field contains contacts, modifier, what else? Font weight, let's say semi bold. Font size, let's say 20. Font must be in SP. Okay. P20 search icon, more icon. And more icon, more word, right? So these need to be moved to some corner, right? For this I'm going to use weight parameter. Looks better. And the horizontal arrangement dot spaced by 10 dB. Fine. in content there would be a image under text field, right? So it should be a column with the image and a text field. Image and painter resource r dot drawable dot. I need to input the r. R must be this contact app dot drawable dot empty box. Content description, second parameter of every image and icons, and you have no context set. Padding, let it be a box with content alignment. Center right. Cool. Or we will be fine. Wait, not good. Font size something like 20 sp. Now it looks even better. And app content width. Max with text align dot center. Perfect. Add screen.kt. As usual, like composable and function add screen. Here I am going to add preview, and for this I am going to use scaffold for the implementation. To scaffold, it contains something like top bar. Oops, you need to add modifier top bar. Input the modifier and give the padding. Right. The top bar contains 2 icons and 1 text field. So for this I am going to use row. Row it contains 2 icon and 1 text field. So I'm just going to use the text field from the context top bar. So just copy and paste here and rename as add. Fine. For the icon, I'm going to use icons that fill arrow back and content description null. It's a default parameter of icon. Similarly, this is tick. So icons that fill that something like check would be fine. So similarly, content description as null. Fine. We need to give us a row full max width to take the entire space and some padding top layer, so surrounding padding and some background color, let's color that white. We need to import that dp. Fine. Padding must be after giving the background color, so it will be optimal. And here I am going to add some padding. Before that, I just remove the weight. So weight is fine. Okay. So to add these fields, I'm just going to use column for top to bottom arrangements with the top padding and full max width. Contains a text name and a text field, right? I'm just reusing this text field. click the button to minimize. So that the safety check of padding. So I'm just giving overall column, I just give it. Further, I'm going to use outlined text field, which contains two default parameters like value, something we're going to enter, right? So name, and on value change, we need to update the value. So we'll do that later. And give modifier. And just copy that color as text color, so I can reuse throughout the project. So here further I'm going to use placeholder. Placeholder, we need to use a text field like enter name. And second default parameter modifier, and use that text color, right? And it will be fine. Finally, we need to use some background color. So colors, text field default. And colors la container color we need to give. So focus container and focus container. So both color we need to give. Oops, it looks gray. So I'm just mismatch the color. I need to use this color. Now looks perfect. Similarly, we need to duplicate all these for surname and phone number. Right. So top right bit at 20 dp. Just command D for duplication. Phone number. It looks perfect. Right. So here I'm going to add this actual values like name with mutable state of empty value, surname, phone number. So this is going to update our UI, right? So just name on value t. Need to import this. Now it looks perfect, and further we are going to implement the home screen, right? Before that, I'm just going to create a item for each contact. So composable function contact item. It contains name, phone number, and two icons, right? For that, I'm going to use a row with the image. Column, it has two fields, right? Two text field, name and phone number, and again one image is there. Here I'm going to use like icon. I'm just already imported this profile picture, so I'm just reducing it with some modifier size of 50 dp. Fine. Here I'm going to use this text field like my name Patri Narayan and some default phone number. Further we need to use icons.fill.call icon. So content descriptional color, we need to pass the color to green, right? For this, I'm just copy code this color. Now we need to arrange this all the items. So for this, I'm going to use full max width to take up the entire space, and we need to start on top padding. So we need to arrange every item in center vertically, and further I'm going to use something like weight to mount the items. First image, let's say 20%, and remaining the column takes 60%, and further that call icon takes the remaining space, right? So it would be optimal. And here the text field is something like bold, so I'm just doing modifier font weight, it's like semi bold. Five would be optimal, right? So I'm just going to render in my home screen with preview. For now, I'm just leave it as false. So if it is empty now, we need to show this. Else like we need to show our data. Lazy column la, let's say some 10 items. Looks perfect. What else? We can add something space and background color. Vertical arrangement. Each item is arranged with space by 16 dp. Oops. It would be fine, right? Let's say 20. Not perfect. Here I am going to add some navigation for each items, right? So for this I'm going to use remember nav controller and option enter or alt enter. It will sync the dependency, and now I just remove the JVM stubs. So navigation nav controller is implemented. If you have doubts, check on the previous video. So how to import this navigation library. So for now I'm going to use start destination as home and create the start destination home, right? So for this I'm going to use composable of home, which is the home screen. So when starting destination home now, it will take the home screen. For now, everywhere we give add, it will take the add screen. Cool. I'm just passing the controllers now. From home screen, whenever we click the plus icon, we need to navigate to add screen, right? So controller.navigate add. That would be fine. and from add screen, whenever the user clicks tick mark, right? So then you need to navigate back to home screen, or else we are just fine. Home screen is fine. Let's run this. Yeah, cool. Once done, we missed out this back button, right? So back buttonless modifier.clickable, and we are going to as controller.pop backstack. Just click as work as a back press thing. It. Finally, I am adding some top padding to give a better look for our items. Just input the DP and run the button. Now the UI looks clean and sleek, right? Cool. Now let's start the implementation of another thing called ViewModel. Here we are going to handle our data. Create a ViewModel and just implement with the ViewModel. I am going to use mutable state. Once mutable state is changed, it will update the UI automatically. For that purpose only I am going to use mutable state. But here, wait a minute. Once add title, we need to pass every contact, right? So for that I am going to create a model, create a package called a model, and it contains a data class of contact model. So as everyone knows, each contact contains name, phone number, and with a unique identifier, right? So these could be something called as model, and by using this model, every contact is represented. So I'm going to use mutableStateOf, something like contacts model. Here I'm going to typecast the list of contacts model, right? Cool. When you're trying to add items, just update the contacts items, which is the about list. Or just add and concatenate the list here, right? Similarly, for edit contacts, we need the updated contact item, which should be update our current ID, right? So I'm going to use map. If that ID is equal to my updated ID, so we need to update that item, else retain that item. Super. Perfect. Once everything is done, we need to create some function called edit and delete, right? Just need enough for ID to delete the items. ID must be something like integer. This is update by removing this ID. Cool. So once done, I'm going to instantiate that ViewModel in our main activity. With an onCreate, we need to use that. Right. Be cautioned that latent var must be initialized within the onCreate in ViewModel.class. So here I'm going to use the ViewModel. Pass to these functions. add context, contact node, we need to pass ID, so ID must be something greater than current size, right? And just concatenate two names and store it at a name field and phone number field. Once data is added, I just navigate to the next page and making these items as empty. Cool. Home screen, let this ViewModel context empty is empty means we need to use this. Is empty. Instead we need to show our contacts. I'm going to use item index with index and data, just passing the data here. Phone number. Before that I just missed this case, right? So it should be, just copy this out, should be on check clickable, not that back arrow click, right? So be careful and run the project. Let me give my name something like Patrinarayan and add some dummy data and click save. It will be navigated, right? So next we focus on that call icon click. For this I am going to use open dialer pad function with context and phone number. So once we click the dialer pad, we navigate to our dialer pad applications. For this we are going to use intent action there on the apply function. Start the activity with this intent. Cool. For this I am going to use URI.parse our phone. Contested current. Cool. Now I can add some details, and when I click save, now I can navigate to my dialer pad. Cool, right? So for now I'm just cancelling out. Let's focus on our next applications like deleting and editing functionalities. For this I am going to use combined clickable to enable the long press functionality. On click we are going to do nothing because we need on long click, right? So I'm just using this on long click. And this variable needs to be initialized here. So val by the number of mutableStateOf false. Oops, we need to use val because val cannot be changed. We only need val, right? Here we are going to write the UV code. Drop down. We need to pass expanded as a boolean. And on dismiss request, we need to return to false. Within the drop menu, we have few things like drop menu items, edit. We need to pass on click, and similarly I am duplicating with delete. No need for now, that's fine. Here I am going to pass. ViewModel is not accessible, so I am going to pass the function here on delete. Directly we can access from here since we have a single function. Pass the ID, so here data.id. You need to pass ViewModel context value is not empty, unlike else, because it is a state variable. Need to change. So as usual, I am just giving some mock data. We can delete. Cool. Now delete is working. We are going to add edit screen. Just copy and paste the add screen details. Edit screen. We need to add this in main activity, right? Composable edit screen. We need the ID to edit. By just passing the ID here, ID, and fetching the ID from the parameters. So where ID equal to arguments get string of ID to int. I am just taking this data which contains the same ID here, right? So I am just replacing here. For that purpose, we are going to split with the space as a delimiter, and once done, we can use this. So before space must be the first item and after space must be the second item, right? So here I am going to add a check if there's anything after that space. So just size check is greater than 1, then take that as just add it to the space only. Cool. And here just data dot phone number, like number. Once saving, you can just give some space and save it. In edit screen layer, it won't be saved like this, right? You need to save the updated one. So no need this, I just remove it. Updated contact item model. So here something the same ID, name should be with space. We have 3 mismatches, so just give it as a default case. If name equal to null, just give the empty string. Cool, let's run the project. Here we are going to implement CRUD operations, right? So before that we need to pass that edit functionality here, right? Similarly on edit, pass this here. On edit, we need to just pass the ID only, right? Now looks perfect. Oops, one error. Let's run the project. Here we are going to implement it with CRUD operations. So I'm just adding the data. Cool, added. Now we can edit the data with the phone number. Can be changed like this. The name can be changed like my panel, right? And delete operation also is there. Further, I'm just adding some another data and deleting this. Cool. So CRUD operation is implemented. Hope you love this. Thank you.